Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. It is originally created for Tuesday, the 21st of February. It is not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, it makes sense. By all means, utilize it. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't seem to fit with your life, then that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, what decks I'm using, how to follow me on social media or request a private reading from either my Instagram or my Facebook business page. And also easy ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, sharing the video out, or leaving me a question or comment. I do appreciate all of it. All right, let's get into these cards and see what's going on. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video. So if you want to check that out, if you hear me talking about cards you don't see, you can watch that, and that's kind of like the energy that sort of is another layer beneath what we're looking at for the daily, okay? Sorry, I'm running a little bit behind, so I'm gonna kind of charge through this a bit. Okay, interesting. All right, so here is our card for the day. 9 of Coins. Not mad at her. The Nine of Pentacles is always a card of independence, right? Of liberation, of having everything that we need at our fingertips while we need it, right? Being aware of that. It can also be a card of doing it on our own, right? Having to face the challenges or the world on our own and being aware that we have everything that we need, right? We don't necessarily need anyone else's assistance, opinions, help, guidance, any of that. Underpinning this from the Sunday reading is that Judgment card, right? And we also have the Queen of Pentacles in the midweek. So this 9 of Pentacles is like the little sister to that Queen of Pentacles in a way. So this is kind of, to me, it's actually sort of the blend of yesterday's Temperance card and the Queen of Pentacles coming in the midweek and the underpinning energy. It's kind of like we're growing into or stepping into our own 3D world well-being. Becoming aware that we can provide for ourselves, or that what we need we can take care of and maintain for ourselves. That our own sort of decisions are valid, good, solid, grounded, all of that. So we might find ourselves beginning to make some decisions in our day-to-day world today that bring us about some of the things that we want in our 3D world. We may not feel quite so confident because this is the 9 versus the Queen, but I feel like that Queen of Pentacles coming in the midweek from Sunday's reading is going to build our confidence even more so with the decisions we're facing or making in our 3D world, right? The 9 of Pentacles always has kind of all her resources about her. She's quite a bit of like contentment. There's a little bit of pride with her. There's a little bit of a sense of accomplishment. She's not, there's the one aspect about her is that she's sort of missing the relationship, right? But I don't think that that's the focus this week. I think that the focus in all of the cards this week is about us answering the call and seeing our own value and our own worth and our own capability to create more of that in our life, right? Or to at least make the decisions in the 3D world that bring us about more of that success or quality of life, better manifestations in a way, right? And with the 9 here, coupled with the Queen's energy coming, like either today or tomorrow, we should be able to sort of put our minds, our thoughts, our decisions towards what it is we want and be successful in the creation of that, even if we're doing it solely by ourselves. It almost makes it all the more rewarding, is my feeling, right? Especially with this 9 of Pentacles here. It's like we can like pat ourselves on the back and say, Yeah, I did that. That was me. That was my choice. I answered that call of the judgment card. I rose up. I went to, you know, a more grounded, discerning, higher sense of self and operated from there. And look at what it has brought me. So there is a sort of a sense of pride to this card in a good way that I feel. So let's go to the healing mantra card, and it is encountering conflict. Hmm. Interesting choice of a card here. I don't know. To me, with the Nine of Pentacles here, it almost feels like if there is conflict, I don't think we're going to get into it in the sense of like we're not going to sink to that level or we're not going to let it rock us. The conflict could be a little bit of that judgment card element, that Scorpio energy, that volatility that Scorpio can represent emotionally in a way. Oops, there's my alarm. But the Nine of Pentacles, she's above that to a degree, right? We can be aware of it, we can encounter it, but we don't have to necessarily sink into it and get rocked by it. Let me read the card to you. I don't choose sides, I take a stand. I like that. That is definitely the Nine of Pentacles. She's standing there in her own answer, knowing what it is that she needs, what it is that she wants, and how she's going to go about getting it and providing it for herself. There's definitely like an independence, a strength to this card. So let me read this to you. Let me get my glasses. I don't choose sides, I take a stand. When conflict is encountered, two opposing viewpoints wrestle for a dominant position. Each hopes to achieve success by changing the other's viewpoints. If encountering conflict from a conscious standpoint, you may realize one of the greatest gifts you can offer is allowing others to be heard. You may not agree with their argument, but you are embracing their needs simply by choosing to listen. When you listen instead of lash out, you are taking a stand for love. This is making the decision to anchor higher frequencies of light through the demonstration of your ethics, morals, and values instead of matching the unconsciousness of others with equal amounts of aggression. This mantra is ideal for settling arguments, unraveling passive aggressive behavior, and releasing the tendency to blame. Very nice. I kind of like that energy, to be honest. This camera's driving me nuts. One moment. I'm going to pause the video because I gotta figure out what is going on with this camera. One moment. Okay, guys, I'm back. I don't know if I can figure out this camera issue. It's driving me nuts. Anyways, back to this. The encountering conflict to me is, I feel like this Nine of Pentacles, she's above it all. In other words, we don't necessarily have to deal with adversity, conflict, challenges, people's attitudes, their opinions in the same way that we maybe have in the past. There's an opportunity here to kind of, I don't know, like rise above it. Again, it's like there's this definite, with the independence of the Nine of Pentacles, there's this air of sort of self-sufficiency that we should be relying on or utilizing, I guess is the best word, that allows us to kind of not necessarily face off with the conflict, but encounter the conflict in a way that doesn't necessarily shake us or rock us or require us to sink to old patterns of having our buttons pressed in a certain way. We may be finding that our buttons are not easily as pressed as they used to be, is my feeling. There's something here that's kind of going back to the Sunday reading. I feel like there's something in this that's transforming us into a higher way of being, or choosing the higher road, or the more spiritual viewpoint, the higher self aspect of ourselves, and realizing like, hey, I don't have to do this anymore. Whether it's with a specific person or situation or relationship. And I feel like this is what this card is telling us too, is just kind of be independent, rely on oneself, understand that you have everything that you need, and that whatever conflict may come towards you, certainly you can listen to that conflict or those voices, but you don't necessarily have to have them indicate how your next steps are taken or how you behave. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So let me go to the clarifiers really quick. We have the Seven of Pentacles, We have the Death card, which we did see in the Sunday reading. And this is that sort of transformation within us, I think, that is going to be about in the Seven of Swords. This is that transformation that is going to be about within ourselves, I think, that's taking place this week. Death was the end card for the Sunday reading, right? The underpinning energy towards the end of this week is this idea of rebirth, transformation. It was kind of also what was giving me that phoenix from the flames sort of vibe from these readings. I feel like we are rising to a higher sense of self or a higher viewpoint, a higher way of holding ourselves within situations. The Seven of Pentacles would indicate contemplation and understanding is, you know, what we've put into a situation and the value of that, right? Our attention, our time, our energy, our assets, whatever those assets may be, whether they're emotional, mental, physical, whatever it is, we're aware of that. And if the situation is still giving us conflict, right, which it would be because we have this encountering conflict idea, plus we have our good friend the Seven of Swords over there, it's time to transform ourselves. It's time to not trigger off in the same way we normally would, is my feeling. The Seven of Swords is like the liar, cheater, stealer, or a betrayal of some sort, right? Sometimes it can be us lying to ourselves, or sometimes it can also represent us moving away from a situation that's no longer telling us the truth. Like, I'm picking up my swords and I'm going home. But to me, with death in the middle of all of this, it's like we are transforming around a situation that no longer suits us, that is no longer in alignment with us. Like, I really get this weird feeling that underneath all of this, there's almost like a vibration change that's taking place within us as to what we deserve and what we're willing to sort of give our attention to, and the understanding of the value of that is my feeling. I hope that's the case for all of you. You'll have to let me know in the messages. Let me go to the grounding stone. Okay, and the grounding stone is the word focus. Yesterday was energy, and I think that, wherever our attention goes, energy flows, and meditation is the underpinning stone for the week. Focus is also about sort of, in a way, can be a meditation. Focus is about becoming aware, like mentally, presently aware of where we put our attention and how we put it there and how much we, allow of our attention to go to a certain issue, person, situation, and is that really working for us? And I think that for some of you it may not be, and you're coming into that understanding. It's interesting, we have two sevens on either side of this death card, right? We have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a reflection of the work that we've put in, and then we have the Seven of Swords, which is, even though I put in a lot of work, this situation is still not panning out the way it's supposed to. It's still not giving me what I need, and I know what I'm worth. I know what I need, especially with the Nine of Pentacles here and the Queen of Pentacles coming in the midweek. So I would say, ground in the awareness of where your focus is at, where it is being placed at this time, especially with that meditation stone. That awareness is going to serve to help us understand whether or not what we're doing is of value for ourselves. Screw anybody else is my feeling with this reading. Is it of value for ourselves? And then choosing where to place that focus, where to place that attention, where to place that love, kindness, care, all of that is a pretty empowered state to be in. And I think that's what this reading is telling us to do, is to sort of be aware of that and then transform that or change that, shift that in a way that works better for you ultimately in the end. That is your forecast. I hope that made sense, you guys. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video out, leave me a question or comment, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.